the New York Post, I believe it was. Was it the Post?
Yeah,
Let's see. The New York Post, I believe, had an article showing you how to summon the dead with a Ouija board.
Oh, no.
I thought that was interesting. Was it New York Post? That might help me.
I think it was.
Yeah, New York Post. How to use a Ouija board. Your guides communicating with the dead safely this Halloween.
Jesus, safely.
I thought.
Didn't the story come out recently about people playing with a Ouija board and they start losing their mind?
I don't know, but I just thought that was wild. Like, I mean,
I think it was a story that came out recently where some kids were playing with a Ouija board and they all had to be rushed to the hospital for anxiety attacks and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. It's just wild to me that that's the title. I'm assuming he means it in jest, but that's wild to me. And it just got me thinking. I know Christians have a lot of different opinions on Halloween and how we feel about it.
Yeah.
We had a discussion amongst our team because, as Christians, I was having trouble figuring out the Christian part of Halloween, right? Like other holidays they call pagan, like they say Christmas is based on winter solstice, pagan holidays, and Easter is based on the summer solstice stuff, and so there's always like a pagan thing hidden behind it. But as Christians, we're like, okay, so what? We do it because of this.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Jesus' birthday or the resurrection of Christ. Yeah.
But what's this for Halloween?
It's none. It's none. I don't think it's none, bro.
Maybe I'm missing it.
I just don't think it is. I don't think there's no Christian anything of it. I think, and maybe back in the day, I probably would have been like, yeah, the trunk and treat and the Hallelujah night and all this other stuff. I think at the end of the day, it's just like you want to do stuff for your kids, which is admirable. It's like you want to do stuff for the kids in your neighborhood or kids or whatever. So giving them candy and all this other stuff. But when you start hearing the stories of the jack-o'-lantern, the reason why you trick or treat, it's like, this is just evil, bro. Like, stay away from it. Like, don't even participate. It's just so funny. I think it's. I had to even question myself this year about trick or treat. Me and Maya actually probably won't be. We're going out somewhere, but I was really debating that. One, because last year some bad kids took all the candy, and I left it on the porch, and they just took it and just threw it in a bucket. I was so mad.
That's what I do.
I sit it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice, so we don't have to. You can just come on my porch, grab it. Some kid did that. I was so mad. I was so mad, bro. I was mad.
You still dealing with it?
Yeah, I am. So that's what made me one part hate it. But then you start doing it. You start doing the research of it, and you start hearing people who were former Satanists, former this, former that, talking about how they would use Halloween, how Satanists use Halloween, how they love it. So if you believe in spirituality, that's what another thing too. I think that's one of those things where you're like, we may need to fall back from this. That's just my opinion.
Now, there are other cultures that have different meanings, like All Hallows Eve, and it's about like the saints and scaring away evil spirits and things like that. I understand that. I just mean in America, I don't see what the excuse is. Now, what I know, because again, my church growing up used to have like a fall festival, Halloween lights, and Christian schools have like dress up days and all this kind of stuff. So it's
biblical
just,
stuff, yeah.
It's still like you're still doing it, but you're trying to pretend like you're not doing it. But
like dry hump.
Wow, we in the field. Raw.
I'm sorry. Lord, I'm sorry. I prayed about that today too, God. I'm sorry.
About what? You prayed about what?
Talk about communication. You're going to be judged about what you say and stuff. So I'm like, yeah. I don't know why that came out like that. Sorry.
It's the spirit of Halloween. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wonder. So when I see stuff like this, and it's like this, it's like a huge blind spot where we're just like, just ignore the fact that this is just blatantly evil holiday.
And the funny part is, like, you said the spirit of Halloween. Like, I remember going into one of those stores and you walking around, and of course you have regular costumes and whatever, but then you start going to like another part of it and it got real dark, like pentagrams and everything. I'm like, yo, what is
yeah.
This is crazy.
And it's in all of the kids programming. So like I have to watch my daughter because she loves like the YouTube Kids and Disney Plus and all that. And then this time of year, it's always a bunch of witches and magic potions and all kinds of nonsense.
But then honestly, I think I think there's two meanings of this. I think from the Hollywood perspective is this stuff ain't real. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of what we talked about with Doctor Strange back in the day.
Yeah.
So that perspective, and then you have some that's like, it is real, and you should join us, and you should be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's the thing. A lot of them don't believe it's real.
Yeah.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of them just they're atheists, so they don't believe anything spiritual exists, right? So as a Christian, we do believe it's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
We believe it's demonic.
Yeah.
And we believe the Bible specifically warns against seances and talking to the dead and any kind of thing like this, right? So that's what sparks in my mind of why are we even playing around with it at all?
Yeah.
Now, everybody made fun of me in my upbringing because, you know, my dad was pretty hardcore. Like, we used to be the family, turn off all the lights, peek through the curtains. You know what I'm saying?
Were they still coming to your house even if your lights was off? Like
they avoid our house, but of course they walk by. Some people used to egg, TP our house, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, dang.
So we got that. So it's like, hey, that's persecution, right? The
I'm praying for Jesus.
The Bible said we would be persecuted. But you know what I'm saying? Like we were that weird family that we were there, but we pretended not to be there.
Okay, the next day, that next morning, y'all would have to literally get up and clean your house?
only happened once.
Oh, okay.
That only happened once.
Did you know the people who did it?
No.
Wow. Like, did you see them do it, or did you? Oh, wow. Okay, you just woke up the next day. Like,
I was young, so I don't even remember exactly all the things. I just remember seeing it the next day.
Got you.
That kind of thing. So yeah, we were that family. So some people would say that's super extreme.
Yeah.
You know, there's other ways to do it. And my dad, you know, went back and forth. Some days he gave away tracks, you know, like Bible tracks. Y'all make fun of me for that too. Bible tracks.
And
to
no
the
candy
kids.
or candy and
I think
tracks?
maybe with candy. I'm not sure. Because then maybe that's why we got egged the next year. may have been the parents.
They read the pamphlet. Persecute Christians. Get the eggs. That's a funny.
But yeah, so we were that family. But even then, again, like our church had the fall festivals where the kids could come dress up. Can't be anything evil, but you could be a superhero or whatever. So I don't know. I just don't know where we're supposed to.
What if some kids show up as a devil? He's like, it's biblical.
True.
Like, it's biblical.
Hey. But yeah, no, you weren't allowed to do that. You probably get sent home. But yeah, nothing evil, nothing that. So I feel like we're kind of making compromises because the kids, it's hard to explain to a kid why they can't participate in something when everybody else is doing it.
Unless I've seen churches do, back in the day, this church here in the Metro Atlanta area used to do this thing called Tribulation Trail, where they would have other churches come and you would see like a reenactment of what it possibly looked like during the tribulation.
Yeah.
And that was really.
There's a place in Georgia that does that, right?
Really?
The end times thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if they still do. I know this. What I'm talking about, this church was doing it, but I don't know if they stopped. They probably did. It was like a couple years ago, but it was really good, and it was a really ministering tool of like, you know, not trying to scare you like a fun house, a haunted house, but just the realization of what's going on and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just feel like stuff is just getting more evil. Like, it's getting more wicked. And I think, like, I remember seeing somebody preaching about, when we talked about Oshun, and it's one of, I ain't gonna say Essence or somewhere like that, where it was a magazine that said, show you how to summon that.
Yeah, and it's just like, we're just doing it just out in the open now. We're not even pretending. Yeah, we're getting to a place where it's like, what they're trying to assert is, you guys believe in what you believe in, then what's wrong with this? Yeah. This is what we believe in.
And it's crazy because it even comes over into the video games. I'm a Call of Duty fan, and like I hate playing it during Halloween because it's
they have monsters.
They put a lot of stuff.
They turn into Doom.
Yeah, they got you like summoning to get different things.
Oh,
you
wow.
Like, do summons and all. Man, I ain't doing that.
So, but I mean, even like every show that you love to watch, every show they have a Halloween day.
Mm-hmm. But they also have a Christmas one too, or Thanksgiving, depending on the show.
Okay, but if you were like, I don't know if First Things First does it. So Christmas Start, I would have to ask him like if they do like a Halloween thing. I'll see coming up, I guess. Yeah. But what would you do if you're like if you work on The View as a Christian, or you work on First Things First or First Take, or
I'm gonna come as a hardworking black man. You'll be like, man, who you supposed to be? A hardworking black man. Come dressed as that, a hard-working black man. They're going to be like, man, that's scary. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life.
Call the police. Call the police.
Wow.
All right. All right. So I don't know. Y'all give me feedback because this is something I'm actively trying to figure out. It just always seems like a blind spot for Christians.
And I understand that because as a kid, you want your kid to have that enjoyment, but then also you want your kids to understand. Like, imagine if you can instill something in your kid that they understand something very early on. That they understand the reason of this holiday. You know what I'm saying? Even if you talk about, like, to a certain extent, even Christmas, like, people can say what they want to say about Christmas, but at the same time, it's still a representation of Jesus because we don't know his actual birthday. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you can tell your daughter or your young kids about it, like, you know what I mean? Or even like if you do a substitute, maybe you have something where you have her friends over at your house. They have a party, but you control the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Halloween party, but it's your friends getting together.
Yeah.
And maybe you show one of them scary Christian movies.
Left Behind. Yeah. They got a new one. Go watch.
Oh, no.
Got some good actors in it, too. I just can't stop thinking about you, what you said about hard work. Can you imagine you come and they like... All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. We'll be right back.